Hey, how's it going, guys? Eat My Diction here. And as you can see here, I'm playing Nexuiz, which is a what's it, Xbox Live Arcade game that came out. It's like a Twitch shooter, and it's actually pretty fucking fun. Pretty fucking fun. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. It's definitely gonna be a lot more fun on PC, obviously, because I'm a fucking PC elitist piece of shit now. But yeah. It's pretty fucking awesome, not gonna lie. And I haven't done one of these commentaries in a really long time, where this is what I used to do all the time for my channel. Was I'd have a gameplay set up, like a 7-8 minute clip, and then I would put it in the timeline, in the editor, and then I would just start recording. Sometimes I'd have something planned out, other times I would just have a concept, but then I would just talk, for the entire time. It was called commentaries back in my day. COD commentaries. But I haven't done one of these in a while. All my video game stuff these days has been live stuff that I just do with people and friends and shit like that, or by myself sometimes. But I decided that I'd go back to my roots of being a commentator. Yeah, it's so good. I used to have an old series called Shit That Happened to Me, and I just tell like crazy stories from years ago when I was a crazy fucking teenager or 20-something-year-old, and I do stupid shit. Take lots of drugs, whatever, share with you guys. And it's been dormant for a really long time, but I like that series. I kind of wanted to bring it back. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm bringing that back. And this story took place, how old was I? I was 20, I think. I was 19 or 20. And I was living in my very first apartment with a couple of my friends, Jack and Greg. And we were we're always really excited about like having a new place, and we get drunk all the time, we party, we were in college and shit. That's what you did essentially. And I didn't have a car at the time. I had gotten my license at 19, but I didn't actually have a car for a while. But my roommate Jack did. He had a Fiero, an old black Fiero, that during his high school years he helped build it in his shop class, and I guess he put the most work into it and was closest with the teacher. So when he graduated, the teacher's like, here, it's yours. You put all this work into it, so this is your graduation present. You get this car that we completely, like, they built it from scratch. It was like broken down, like crazy broken down when they got it. And then they fixed it up so it was drivable. It didn't have power steering though, and every so often I'd have to drive it to go different places, go get groceries or pick people up from BART or something. And getting out of like a parking space and like if you're going slower than like 20 miles an hour, it was such a bitch to fucking steer it. And it was just like driving a boat essentially. Once you actually got moving though, it was okay. So, but it was this tiny little fucking car, and there was always these times when we would have to we'd have to pick up more than one person, and it's just like there's the driver's seat and the passenger seat. That's it. There's not even a fucking trunk in the goddamn thing. Or there was, but it was like a tiny little space. I think I don't remember too clearly, but if we were picking up our these girls that we'd hang out with, and they were like small girls, we just have them like sit like in front of the passenger seat in that little like where the leg space is. And that was dangerous. That was fucking dangerous. But so yeah, we had this crappy little fucking Fiero, and then after a while, my roommate got a new Jeep, and that was what he drove for the rest of his time while we were living there. And he actually got it towed a few times. You see, we would live in one of those apartment complexes where there are designated parking spots for apartments, and then there's guest parking. And 9 times out of 10, if you drove there after like 6 p.m. on a weeknight, you were not going to find parking. You would have to go several blocks up and park on the street. And we were all lazy, so I mean, I never did it because I knew it would because I didn't get my car until after the towings happened. But several times my roommate would park in other people's spots, and they had his car towed. And he would get super pissed off about it. We're like, well, dude, you shouldn't park there. It's their spot. They have every right to, tow your car. And he was like, yeah, but now I have to pay $135 to get the car back. Oh, that's such an asshole. I'm like, just park a couple blocks up, dude. It's like not that big of a deal. But he did it like twice, and then my other roommate had it happen to him as well. And it almost got to like this this parking war thing, but nothing really happened. But excuse me, I'm sorry. There we go. I feel better now. And then one night, so the Fiero was parked like around the corner from the apartment complex on this big long street, and there's like a long string of cars parked there. So it was parked there for like 2 months, and we never saw it. We never used it. It was just sitting there, essentially abandoned. And one night, we're out on my back porch, and we're having a cigarette, and we're drinking a little bit. And me and my friend Matt are just talking. We're just having conversations. Like, me and him by ourselves. No one else is home. And we hear, like, a big crack and boom. And it sounds like a gunshot. And we're like, what the fuck was that? Oh, well. And then we peered over the back of the balcony and tried to see if we could see where it came from, but we couldn't. And then an hour later, my roommate comes home, and he's on the phone. He gets a call from the police, and they're like, your car was blown up. Or they said something to that effect, essentially. And he was like, that's what he told us. He's like, someone blew up my car. And he was like, what? And we thought it was the Jeep at first. And then they clarified it was like Black Fiero. And so we all ran down to where we knew it was parked. And sure enough, some kids had fucking smashed through the window and dropped like a couple of M80s in the bed of the car. And just lit them. And it blew the fucking thing up. So, like, the exterior of the car was fine, but the interior was completely, it was charred and black, and the windows were all blown out. And he had a couple things in there. He wasn't too concerned about the car itself because, frankly, he had given up, you know? It was like, we never drove it. He never drove it. He had another car. It was fine. It was a free car. All he did was work on it, so it wasn't really, it didn't have a whole lot of sentimental value or anything like that. It was just a car. But I think he had like a coffee mug or something in there. And the coffee mug got blown up. And he was like, oh man, I really like that coffee mug. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Your car is like, it's done. Like, there is no driving this car anymore. That can't happen. And yeah, so I forget what he did with it. I think he just had it towed away and thrown out, essentially. But yeah. So there you have it. There's another commentary, a real commentary. Thanks for watching, and bears.